Welcome to a chilling new era of modern warfare, where the most lethal weapons make no sound at all. For centuries, massive global conflicts were violently fought, with marching armies and deafening explosions. But what if absolute destruction could be triggered by one invisible line of computer code? Today, we uncover the chilling true story of Stuxnet, the first digital superweapon. Prepare to witness how a phantom virus shattered the illusion of global security. The modern battlefield is no longer defined by physical borders or heavily guarded walls. It exists entirely within the silent, infinite void of a vast, global network system. Deep underground, far away from public eyes, anonymous hackers write lines of malicious text. These shadowy figures are the new soldiers, armed with nothing but cold mechanical keyboards. A single devastating keystroke can launch a massive attack capable of bringing a nation down. But until the late 2000s, this dark realm was mostly used for stealing secret information. Governments and agencies engaged in a quiet game of digital espionage and data theft. Cyber warfare was considered a theoretical threat, a plot for science fiction movies. No one truly believed that a computer virus could physically destroy heavy machinery. All of that changed when a highly classified program was born in dark, absolute secrecy. To understand the terror of this weapon, we must look at how critical facilities operate. Power plants, water grids, and nuclear bunkers rely on industrial control systems to function. These massive steel structures are managed by small, complex digital brains known as logic controllers. The controllers dictate every valve, every spinning motor, and every pressure limit. Because they manage such dangerous equipment, these networks are completely disconnected. They are air-gapped, meaning they have absolutely zero connection to the outside internet world. Engineers believed this physical isolation made their underground bunkers invincible. Hackers could never reach the internal servers because there was no digital bridge to cross. But human ingenuity, driven by the desire to dominate, always finds a hidden path. A coalition of elite intelligence agencies decided to build the ultimate weapon. Their target was not a database, but a heavily fortified uranium enrichment plant. They needed to stop the spinning centrifuges without launching a single physical missile. Thus began the most complex coding project ever undertaken in military history. Lines of code were carefully structured to be ruthless, undetectable, and highly precise. The malware was designed to aggressively seek out a very specific brand of equipment. If it landed on a regular civilian computer, it would simply remain dormant and hide. It was a silent digital assassin, patiently waiting for its exact intended victim. But to deliver this lethal package, they had to cross the insurmountable air gap barrier. The solution was brilliantly simple, relying on the predictable flaws of human nature. They loaded the devastating payload onto ordinary, innocent-looking USB flash drives. These highly infected drives were strategically scattered around the hostile target perimeter. The brilliant attackers knew that a curious employee would pick one up and slowly plug it in. That single, fatal moment of human error became the bridge the virus desperately needed. Once inside the network, the Stuxnet code woke up and began to replicate like a dark, deadly plague. It crawled silently through the internal systems, eagerly searching for the logic controllers it craved. It infected thousands of standard computers, leaving them completely unharmed and functional. The malware was looking for a specific industrial software used to run the centrifuges. When Stuxnet located its ultimate prey, the true digital nightmare officially began. The code embedded itself deep into the core system, taking absolute control of the factory. But the true genius of this weapon was not just destruction, it was masterful deception. If the machines suddenly broke down, engineers would immediately shut everything off to fix it. To prevent this, Stuxnet launched a highly sophisticated man-in-the-middle cyber attack. It intercepted the sensor data coming from the spinning centrifuges to the control room. The virus recorded 20 seconds of completely normal, safe operating data from the plant. It then successfully began to loop this fake recording back to the unsuspecting engineers. While the screens showed green lights and stable speeds, the reality was a terrifying disaster. Down in the fortified concrete bunker, the massive aluminum cylinders began to scream in pain. The malicious code forced the motors to accelerate far beyond their maximum physical limits. Historical records indicate the rotors were pushed to a staggering, deadly frequency. Then, completely without warning, the program ordered them to rapidly and suddenly brake. Imagine driving a car at top speed and suddenly throwing the transmission into reverse gear. The tremendous physical forces caused the delicate metal tubes to violently warp and shatter. Bearings cracked, pipes burst apart, and highly toxic, radioactive gas leaked into the chamber. The operators in the control room were completely oblivious to the massive ruin. As they sipped their coffee, nearly 1,000 centrifuges tore themselves apart in the dark, quiet room. But Stuxnet was incredibly patient. It didn't just strike once and disappear into the shadows. It slowly operated over several months, breaking down machinery to avoid suspicion. Plant managers were baffled, blaming the massive failures on bad parts and human incompetence. They replaced the broken cylinders, only for the unseen virus to destroy them again. As the facility director watching your plant crumble, would you ever suspect computer code? This unseen warfare caused intense paranoia and internal conflicts among the confused staff. The ultimate goal was to delay the hostile nuclear weapons program indefinitely. And for a long time, it worked flawlessly, sabotaging the nation's nuclear ambitions. No malware is ever completely perfect, and Stuxnet eventually made a fatal mistake. Due to a slight coding error, the aggressive virus escaped the isolated bunker. It hitched a ride on an engineer's laptop and connected to the global public internet. Suddenly, Stuxnet began rapidly spreading to thousands of civilian machines across the globe. It didn't harm these computers, but its massive presence triggered global cybersecurity alarms. Cyber researchers worldwide noticed this strange, heavy file multiplying in their defensive networks. Security experts from global labs raced to deconstruct the terrifying, mysterious code. What they discovered shocked the entire cyber community to its very core, changing everything. They realized they were not looking at a criminal virus designed to steal money or data. They were examining the digital equivalent of an advanced, precision-guided cruise missile. The architecture of Stuxnet was so incredibly complex that no single hacker could have built it. It utilized 4 rare zero-day exploits, forming a massive, expensive digital arsenal. 0 days are secret software flaws that even the system creators do not know exist yet. A single 0 day is worth millions on the black market. Stuxnet casually deployed 4 of them. This level of funding and engineering confirmed that a powerful nation-state was behind the code. It used a forged certificate, slipping past defenses by faking a corporate identity. Like a ghost wearing a stolen security badge, it strolled past the strongest digital checkpoints. When researchers simulated the attack in their labs, they watched centrifuges destroy themselves. The terrifying truth emerged. This exact code could be altered to destroy almost anything. If it could destroy a nuclear plant, it could easily shut down the grid of a major city. It could breach water treatment plants, silently poisoning the civilian supply without warning. The Pandora's box of cyber warfare had been torn open, and the world was forever changed. Nations rushed to establish their own cyber commands, launching a new, invisible global arms race. Leaders saw that guarding digital borders was now as critical as defending physical land. The true legacy of Stuxnet is not just the physical damage it inflicted on one factory. Its true legacy is the grim proof that the digital and physical worlds are now deeply intertwined. As artificial intelligence grows, who will control the cyber weapons of the coming decades? We now live in a society where everything deeply relies on fragile digital systems. The hospitals that save us, the traffic lights that guide us, all run on vulnerable lines of code. Stuxnet proved that an unseen enemy can reach from the dark web and destroy our reality. The next major world war will not begin with a deafening explosion, but with a silent keystroke. The terrifying truth is that the digital bullet has been fired. We are merely waiting. As digital malware evolves, the lines between civil and military targets will disappear. The massive Stuxnet attack was a chilling warning bell that the world largely chose to ignore. Security teams are now locked in a never-ending battle against unseen digital phantoms. Every single new update and patch is just a temporary shield against the incoming storm. We have carefully built our massive modern empires on a foundation of fragile, broken glass. The complex code behind this weapon has now been studied, copied, and improved by rogue actors. Criminal syndicates and hostile states are actively developing their own cyber arsenals. What exactly happens when the next Stuxnet virus targets the power grid in the dead of winter? Entire modern cities could instantly plunge into darkness, causing widespread panic and chaos. The devastating economic and human costs would far exceed traditional bombing. To survive in this terrifying new landscape, total vigilance is our only defense. Engineers must constantly search the dark networks for the faint digital footprints of deadly threats. The era of trusting physical isolation to protect machines is completely dead. The unseen cyber war is raging silently right now beneath the surface of our daily lives. Every single device connected online is a potential weapon or a helpless target. Stuxnet proved that a genius piece of code is far more dangerous than any loaded gun. The Pandora's box is open, and humanity can never go back to the way things were before. The Stuxnet virus proved that future wars will be fought entirely in the dark shadows of cyberspace. Are we truly prepared for a conflict where our own systems turn against us? Share your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this historical dive, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more.